For the last decade, Alessia Cara has dominated music charts, making history as the first Canadian to win Best New Artist at the Grammys. She has 12.5 billion streams of her music to date, and there's even more to come. Here's a listen. Love it already. What you just heard is a snippet from Alessia's new album called Love and Hyperbole. And we're so excited to have Alessia in the studio with us today to tell us more about it. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I always love watching artists respond to their own music. You just heard that playing in the studio. What do you think about when you hear that song being played? You look like you're having a good time.
I was, yes. I feel like, I mean, hearing your own voice can always be a little jarring.
Yes.
I'm sure someone on TV, you could probably maybe feel the same.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of artists feel that way, but I also am just really excited about this music. So it is kind of, it's a nice feeling to be able to listen back and not be like, too much. Like, I actually really do. I mean, I enjoy all the music that I've made, but this album in particular is my favorite thing I've ever made, so I do enjoy listening to it.
Okay, you said sometimes when you look back, I'm gonna take you back a little bit because you did an interview with us in 2020, 5 years ago. Here's a look at that. You're gonna get to hear this.
The songwriter one is always a little closer to my heart just because that's, you know, what I do for a living, and I pour my heart and soul into my music. I know that sounds very cheesy, but it's the truth. And so getting acknowledged for my work.
Obviously, this is during COVID time.
Really,
so you were, I think you were in your kitchen or something.
I was in my parents' kitchen.
When you listen to that and you hear about this young artist who is passionate and loved her music, how do you feel like you've grown or changed in the last 5 years since we talked?
It's crazy. It's crazy that it's been 5 years. I can't believe it, because I look at that version of myself, and on one end it feels like it was like 2 days ago, and then on another end it feels like a million years ago, and like a million versions of myself ago. I mean, I feel like I'm just in a better place now. I think obviously with time we all grow, we all change, we learn things through, you know, walks of life, and I feel like just as an artist, I think just found my sound a little bit more. I think every album that I do, every project that I release, I get closer and closer to a version of myself that I've always wanted to be. And even in my personal life, you know, it just comes with growing up. I just feel like a more sophisticated, more wise version of that person. But I do feel like that DNA, of course, is still in me. I'm still the same person in a sense that I was when I first started. So it's like a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
Love and Hyperbole is the first project that you've put out since 2021. What is this album about?
So this album is honestly about kind of like a retelling of the last 3 years of my life, and you know, all the different things that I experienced, you know, specifically surrounding love, whether it's romantic love, self-love, just love of life, and kind of learning how to reshape my love of music, to be honest. There was a period of time where I didn't really make any music, and I kind of had to rediscover my love for that.
Why didn't you make any music?
I don't know. I think I just kind of needed to step back from it a little bit. I think I just have been doing it for, you know, at that time, for the last like 8 years of my life, and you know, it kind of becomes your identity for a little bit, and it's hard to continue creating from experience when you don't have a lot of experiences to, you know, pull from, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of had to live a little bit of life and figure some things out, and this album is basically about that process over, you know, the last 3 years.
You share some of that process with us. We went scrolling on your Instagram. You recorded this entire album live, which I love. Very old school, very organic. I want to share with everybody what you've put up on social media and then ask you about it.
Okay.
Hello.
Like a movie scene. Hear the angels sing. Like a movie scene. Like a movie scene.
What I love about this is a part of world and life that I don't know, I will never see. And you bring us inside. What is with the bullhorn?
See, that is so funny. I did not think this was going to be on TV. That's hilarious. That was just literally like an improv thing. Like, we were recording what is called crowd vocals that you actually hear in slow motion. You know, in the call and response part, you hear this kind of like choir-esque sound, and that's actually us doing that.
Cool.
So the bullhorn, the megaphone was just like me trying to add different textures to it. I think the beauty of like doing stuff live and like working with a bunch of people that you get along with and that you know, can create freely with is like you just try things. That's like the beauty of creating in a fun space. And so we were just having a ton of fun, as you can see. And yeah, it was, I'm just so glad that I got to like incorporate that and actually put that in the final product of the song, because people, when you hear it, you might not realize or know the process, but like me knowing what it took to get there, and like, I just think of all those memories, and it's really fun. So
I'm glad that you came back. I'm glad you're back in the city. And I'm glad you're in the studio
Thank
this time,
you.
not in your parents' kitchen.
I know. I'm glad that we can do this again. This is nice.
All right, thanks, Alessia.
Thank you.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.